We have a very interesting situation right now where we are seeing the joining, the melding of two major stories, and one kind of explains the other. We have, on the one hand, the questions that have lingered because Donald Trump never released his tax returns about whether Trump is as wealthy as he claims, whether Trump's businesses are as profitable as he says they are, whether Donald Trump has problematic debts to others. And thanks not to Donald Trump, but thanks to the blockbuster New York Times investigation, the answers to all of those questions are yes, yes, and yes. And in fact, there are a total of $420 million in debt that Donald Trump has, 300 million of which are loans that will come due during Donald Trump's second term as president if he gets one. So that's one story. Okay. Talked about that yesterday. Secondly, we have this story from July, which I've been on top of for a while, which is that the Trump campaign is accused of laundering money through its campaign, laundering donor money and doing all sorts of sketchy and potentially illegal things with donor money. That I told you about in July. This is now coming together with the added piece of Trump's former campaign manager, Brad Parscale, threatening to harm himself and allegedly hitting his wife and getting arrested in Florida. And I'll tell you how that relates to it. Why is Donald Trump's campaign laundering money if they are? Well, it seems weird to do something so risky just for kicks. It is explained by the taxes. If Trump has 300 million in loans coming due soon and 420 million in total debt, and his businesses aren't doing nearly as well as he claims, which was also exposed by the recent New York Times tax bombshell, then the reason he's laundering money could be to free up money that was donated to him for his campaign to pay back some of those debts. I mean, it's the crudest top level analysis. The details could vary, but that would be a very reasonable inference from what we are seeing. If whoever Trump's creditors are, and we still don't know the full scope of who they are, if they plan to come for Trump's money starting in the next few years, then Trump urgently needs to get cash to pay them. And if we really want to speculate, and this is the Brad Parscale piece, and now we're going much further, we told you yesterday on the bonus show that Donald Trump's former campaign manager, Brad Parscale, was taken by police to a hospital because he was threatening to harm himself. He had barricaded himself in his home. He had, according to his wife, 10 guns with him. His wife reportedly had bruises on her, etc., etc. Anytime someone is threatening harm to themselves or others, we don't make fun of that. That's serious. But the timing of it is interesting because based on the reports about money laundering from July, Parscale's companies were major players in laundering the money. And at the exact time that the New York Times story breaks, which is the beginning of the unraveling maybe of the money laundering and of Trump's taxes, Brad Parscale has a breakdown. Are they related? Well, we don't know. I mean, it is speculative. We do commentary and opinion here. That's what we do. The timing makes me wonder about it very, very much. The question in the end is, how much jail time can you end up with if you launder millions for a sitting president? If that is indeed what Brad Parscale did, it could make even the most stable person maybe lose their cool. We don't know. We'll see. Last thing to mention here. You can tell that they have the goods at the New York Times. The New York Times story about Trump's taxes likely is completely accurate because all of the reactions are distractions. Some Trumpists have been tweeting, you know, it's illegal to leak someone's taxes. Who gave it to the New York Times? That concedes that they are really Trump's taxes, right? Or why was this published right before an election? That's dirty. They're trying to influence the election. Well, that concedes that these are Trump's real taxes, right? Or who cares if Trump didn't pay taxes? That makes him smart. Well, that concedes that what the New York Times is reporting is accurate. And of course, Trump has casually said, oh, it's all fake. It's just fake news. But 99% of the rebuttals that the right is running with aren't substantive. They are non sequitur whataboutism. The next 5 weeks are going to be fascinating. We will see tonight in the first presidential debate. You've got to join me live for this thing. We will see tonight at the first presidential debate whether the topic of Donald Trump's taxes comes up, We will continue covering it on our Instagram page, David Pakman Show on Instagram. Make sure you're following us there. We'll be back right after this. If you love feeding your intellectual curiosity, but you're always struggling to find the time, check out one of my all-time favorite apps called Blinkist. Blinkist lets you consume an entire book on your way home from work. They take thousands of popular nonfiction books, condense each one into text or audio that you can get through in just 15 minutes, and you get all of the important core ideas and information from that book. It's perfect if you don't have enough time to do all the reading you want to do, or if you just want to sample a book before you buy the entire thing. I recently read A Brief History of Time, of course, by the great Stephen Hawking. This is a book that I have been aware of for so long, and other things got in the way, and it was fantastic to check it out on Blinkist. Blinkist has books on politics, philosophy, science. They have 27 different nonfiction categories, and a subscription is only about $8 a month, and you get the entire library. But you can try it totally free and get 25% off a subscription when you go to Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've put the link right underneath this video.